Welcome back. Here we go again. An exciting day ahead. Today, we are heading up the coast quite a ways, farther than I've gone before, and we're going up into Sonoma County on the coastline. And the reason I'm going up there today is to find a bunch of rocks. But to me, it's much more exciting than it sounds. And that's because these rocks show evidence of prehistoric life from the Ice Age. Now that's about all I'm going to say on the topic, because we have an expert that's going to be chiming in this video to teach us more about these rocks in particular and the entire Bay Area and the California coast and what it was like during the Ice Age. But I just thought it was really cool that you can literally go see evidence of megafauna from the Ice Age right here on the California coast. So that's why we're riding up today. We're gonna go check that spot out, and hopefully it'll be a nice ride on the way. Riding through the famous Bodega Bay, a hotspot tourist location. It. All right.
We have a way of just thinking everything is frozen in time, but our Earth is a living system and things are slowly changing, And by looking at the Ice Age, we can really see that. And by putting, at least mentally, this landscape back together and seeing how it worked, we can better understand how to manage what we do have in the future. We had something very similar to the African Serengeti at its height, and that was because of the landscape and the wildlife on it. So in our area, in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay did not exist. It was a well-drained valley. I picture a big grassy coastal terrace, which I call the Farallon Plain, running from Monterey Bay up north in Northern California. I'm picturing herds of mammoth and bison and horses and camel going east to west. In many ways, the bison and the mammoth were Marin County's and Sonoma County's original landscape architects. The bison, and there were probably hundreds of thousands of bison in the Bay Area, they would aerate the soil with their hooves. They break up the soil. And then the mammoth comes along and fertilizes. As the mammoth and the bison moved, the American lion, the dire wolf, the short-faced bear, they had to move also, saber-toothed cats. So it would have been like this choreographed dance between the big herbivores and the predators, seasonal movement back and forth in California. And that's what I call the California Serengeti. When you close your eyes and try to picture this, it's that dance that I see, that seasonal dance back and forth. The rocks predate the mammoths by millions of years. The rocks they're over 100 million years old. They're on a terrace that's probably in the neighborhood of 40 to 50,000 years old. These are rock stacks that have uplifted when the terrace uplifted maybe 40,000 years ago. And at that point, they became accessible to animals. When I was doing survey out there, I took my lunch behind the rocks because it was so windy. And that's how my colleague and I found the rocks. We started on September 12th, the day after 9/11. And my colleague and I, Raj Naidu, walked these long transects in the wind. And when it came to lunch, normally I would take like a 5-minute lunch. On this particular day, we sat there for about 2 hours. And we got behind the rocks out of the wind, and we talked about what had happened the day before. And because we sat there so long, we began to see the polish around us. I'd been to those rocks before, had never really noticed it before. We started talking about modern day cattle polish. Cows and horses will rub rocks also and leave a polish, except this polish went up like 13 feet above our heads, and no cow can do that. Now, what animals rub? In the Pleistocene, bison rubbed and mammoth rubbed. And we know that because modern day buffalo and modern day elephants still rub. They'll rub rocks. And it feels good, but it's also part of grooming behavior. I've been out there, I've worked with geological scientists. We've done atomic force microscope analysis, scanning electron microscope, radiocarbon dates, all types of things. And everything tends to suggest this is mammoth polish, but we haven't proven it yet. And that's the distinction to make. I'm 98% sure that that's what we have because we've eliminated all the other possibilities. And the thing that's still on the table is megamammal grooming behavior. We haven't been able to eliminate that, nor do I think we will. But I dare anyone to prove it wrong. Even if I'm wrong, that's fine. I just love to know what we're dealing with. And right now, mammoth polish is what it looks like to me. The brain that comes closest to ours is the elephant brain, which means the elephant brain and the mammoth brain has all this room to grow. When you store data, you have the opportunity to store extra stuff, not just how to make a living or how to get food or how to make fire, but how to write poetry or how to sing or how to dance. And I think mammoths did all of that. And in their minds, at least, they danced and they sang. They wrote poetry. They fell in love. They fell out of love. They held grudges, And so when I think about mammoth, it's like, my God, they're like these big people. They're the giants that we think about, and they were out there.
Wow. Look at that. You see the shadows of the clouds on the road. Amazing. So to me, that is a really, really interesting place. I love stuff like that. To see evidence on landscapes like that of so long ago, whether it's fossils or, something like this, that is just crazy to me. And I think that's such a fascinating place to be able to go out and see. Doesn't hurt that it's absolutely gorgeous around here too. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate everyone who watches. I appreciate your support and your interest. I'm so glad there's other people out there that are interested in this weird concoction of motorcycle riding and, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, video storytelling or exploring of random spots. So thank you for watching. Thanks for coming along. More to come.